Forget everything you thought you knew about drones being hobbyist toys. We're talking about a $90 billion industry that's completely reshaping everything from farming to filmmaking. So today, we're not just going to talk about the drone economy, we're going to give you the actual launch plan to be a part of it. Let's dive in. And this right here, this one idea on the slide, it changes everything. Seriously, we've moved way past just cool flying machines. The real revolution, the real money, is in the information these things are gathering from the sky. So you got to think less about the drone itself and way more about the multi-million-dollar business decisions that are being made because of its data. It's a massive shift from selling products to selling actual solutions. And that brings us to the big idea powering this whole thing, drones as a service, or DaaS for short. See, the business model isn't about owning the drone, it's about what the drone does. You're not selling a fancy camera that flies, you're selling the critical insights that camera gives you from a perspective nobody else can get. And you know what's really exciting? How accessible all of this is. Forget needing millions in capital like you would for traditional aviation. You can launch what's called a lean drone startup with just 3 things: one certified pilot, one professional drone, and the right insurance. That's it. That low barrier to entry is an absolute game changer. Okay, so you're ready to jump in, but you're probably wondering, where should I focus? Where's the real money being made right now? Good question. Let's break it down and map out the 3 most profitable niches you can get into for 2025. First up on our list, precision agriculture. This is all about using drone tech to make farming smarter, way more efficient, and a lot more sustainable. We're basically talking about a super high-tech solution for one of the world's oldest and most important industries. And the value here is, well, it's incredibly tangible. By using special cameras that measure light bouncing off plants, that's what that NDVI thing is, drones can check on crop health and actually boost how much a farm grows. And with automated spraying, they can target only the areas that need it, cutting chemical waste by up to 30%. That's a direct impact on a farm's bottom line and, the environment. All right, our second high-value niche is infrastructure and industrial inspection. This is where drones are just revolutionizing safety and maintenance for massive things like bridges, power lines, and all those renewable energy installations. So the most important thing here is safety. I mean, a drone with a thermal camera can spot a bad solar panel in seconds. But even more importantly, it can inspect a 100-foot-tall wind turbine without a single person having to make that incredibly dangerous climb. This isn't just about being more efficient. It's literally about saving lives. And finally, we have geospatial mapping and surveying. In this niche, drones are basically creating digital copies of the real world. These amazingly detailed 3D models that are vital for industries like construction, mining, and city planning. The key advantage here is pure, unadulterated speed. Drones can create a digital twin of a whole construction site or a super detailed map for a mining operation in just a few hours. That's a task that used to take a ground crew weeks. This kind of acceleration is completely transforming project timelines. And hey, beyond these big 3, don't forget about the hidden gold mines. I'm talking about services like those spectacular drone light shows, or even the essential work of drone repair and maintenance. These are fantastic opportunities, especially for you technically minded entrepreneurs out there. But wait, what if you're not quite ready to launch your own business? Well, the great news is that the job market is hungry, and I mean hungry for talent. So let's shift gears from entrepreneurship to employment and see how you can find a role in all this. You see, the drone career ladder has a ton of rungs, and pilot is really just the first one. The industry is desperately looking for talent. They need data analysts to make sense of all the information. They need hardware technicians to keep the drones in the air. They need software developers to write the code that makes autonomous flight possible. And they need operations managers to keep everything legal and safe. There's a spot for almost any technical skill set you can imagine. Let's just take the drone data analyst, for example. This is the person who takes all that raw footage and imagery and transforms it into a report that a CEO can actually use to make a smart decision. They're the ones who find the story hidden inside the data. And then there's the operations manager. This role is so critical. They're the experts in aviation law, making sure that an entire fleet of drones operates safely and legally, staying compliant with all the rules from bodies like the FAA in the US. Okay, so for all you aspiring founders out there, this next section is for you. We're going to lay out a really clear 5-step roadmap to get your drone business off the ground. All right, here it is. Step 1, get certified. Think of it as your passport to the industry. Step 2, do your research. Find a real problem that a local industry has. Step 3, choose your equipment strategically. More on that in a sec. Step 4, get your legal and insurance stuff all sorted. And finally, step 5, build a portfolio that proves you can deliver. Let's zoom in on step 3, because this is a really common mistake. Don't just go out and buy the fanciest, most expensive drone you can find. Instead, focus on the outcome. Ask yourself, what data does my client actually need? Then buy the specific tool that delivers that exact result. It's a much, much smarter investment. And for step 5, building that portfolio, here's a powerful strategy for you. Offer your first few missions at a discount. Now, why would you do that? To get those all-important case studies. A strong portfolio filled with real-world results is what will help you land those bigger, more profitable contracts down the line. It's proof you can do the job. So, what's the ultimate reward for getting into this industry right now? Let's talk about the future, because the scale of this opportunity is, well, it's just staggering. By 2030, the global drone market is projected to be worth over $90 billion. That's billion with a B. So whether you're the one piloting the drone, analyzing its data, or repairing its motors, you are stepping into a massive growth industry at the absolute perfect time. So, as we wrap up, the takeaway is pretty clear. The sky is no longer the limit. It's the new workplace. The only question left is, what problem are you going to solve from it?